So today's class will be focusing on hips and side waist. So if you have them, grab a couple blocks. Towards the end, we'll need them to support ourselves in the pose that we're working into. And I'm gonna leave it a surprise. Don't worry, I'll give alternatives. Yeah, so if you have blocks, grab those. If you don't have blocks, a couple beach towels or big towels that are folded up that you can give yourself some support with. All right, so it's like an artificial lift, or whatever you have. And if you don't have anything and you need support, we'll give alternatives, like I said. So we'll get started, and I want you all to come into Shavasana. I know you like it when we start in Shavasana, so lay down on your mat. And take up some space on your mat. So feet go wide, arms out to the side. And then let's do this. Plant your feet on the floor. Lift your hips a little, scoop your tailbone forward by drawing your belly button in, and then lay the hips back down. Take your feet back out. All right, so we want to start lengthening the torso. So when we think about side waist, we're going to think about and create actions to lengthen the torso. And that's just one thing that you can do. And then once you find this position, maybe you need some support underneath your knees, go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let it all go. Let your feet go. Inhale. With your exhale, let your feet and your hands be heavy. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And just take a few moments here, staying in your Shavasana, being still. Take your awareness to your breath. And no need to change your breath right now, just observe it as it is. And when you feel ready, start to deepen your breath. And just a long, slow inhale through your nose. Long, slow exhale through your nose. Two more breaths like that. Long exhale through your nose. And then bring your feet together. Take a full body stretch. Your next inhale. Reach your arms back behind you. Press your heels forward. And then exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Just hold the right knee here. Flex both feet. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, right knee in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, hug your right knee in and twist to your left. So draw your right knee across your body to the left side of the room. Reach your right arm out to the right side of the room. And here you're trying to stack your right hip over your left. Right, so your lower back, your sacrum is perpendicular to the floor. Inhale, come out, take a full body stretch, reach your arms back. Get long through the whole body, really press your heels forward. Exhale, take the left knee in, twist to your right. And again, you're stacking now your left hip over the right. Reach your left arm out to the left. Maybe your gaze goes over. But if not, just keep your gaze to the ceiling and just be kind to your neck. Deep breath, and then long exhale out. Inhale, come up, full body stretch. Now it's one breath per movement. Exhale, right knee in, twist to your left. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, left knee in, twist to your right. Keep going. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, right knee in, twist left. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, left knee in, twist to the right. One more time on each side. So here we're getting some mobility in our spine. So that'll allow us to create length through the spine and sideways. And then we're loosening up those connections from the lower back and our latissimus dorsi and all those muscles into our hips. Take a full body stretch here. And now walk your heels over to the right side of the room. Be careful of your water bottle, and take your arms stretched out overhead first and then to the right side of the room as well. So you're creating a banana shape. If you want to interlace your fingers, you can do that. Whatever makes this easier, right, more accessible, do that. So your heels are firmly planted into the floor so that you can stretch through the whole left side body. I really feel that in my hips and the lower side waist. Breathe in deep. Long breath out. Let's take one more breath on this side. And then bring yourself back to center. Take a big inhale. Stretch it out. And then walk your heels over to the left. Arms and hands over to the left as well, creating the banana shape in the opposite direction. And just adjust it so you start to feel that stretch go through the whole side body. So we're feeling this on the right side. Take a deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Deepen that breath. As you breathe in, feel the whole side body stretch. Exhale, draw your belly button in. One more breath here. Exhale, deepen, deepen, deepen. And then inhale, come to center, full body stretch. Exhale, hug your right knee in. And then extend your right heel up towards the ceiling. So we'll get in a hamstring and inner thigh stretch here before we move on. Press your right heel up and pull your toes down. Feel that stretch deepen into the whole leg. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. turn your toes to the right, take the right leg out to the right, and hang on to your leg. All right, grab the inner thigh or support your IT band below. So just wherever it feels comfortable. If you have a block, you can put a block under your foot. Draw your belly button in and keep both legs active here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, take the right leg up and lower it down. Hug your left knee in, grab behind your leg, so taking the hamstrings. Extend your left heel up towards the ceiling, and then pull your toes down towards the floor. Nice long deep breaths here. Both legs are active, so right leg is pressing into the floor as well. And let's stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn your left toes to the left side of the room. Take your left leg out to the left, and you're supporting it either from the inner thigh, kind of grabbing on top and wrapping the fingers towards the floor, or supporting from underneath, fingers point forward. Good, stay here, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up, lower it down. Take a full body stretch again. Exhale, hug both of your knees into your chest. Pick your head up to meet your knees so you're stretching out the whole back body. And then take your hamstrings. Let's rock and roll a few times up and down. Have a little fun with it. Good, and then come all the way up. Balance on your sits bones. Boat pose. I know. Boat pose so early in the practice. You're okay. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Think about your side waist, like somebody's lifting you up. Right, so lift your collarbones, lengthen up, press your heels forward. Don't mind the shaking, it's all good. Breathe in. Exhale, cross the legs, come onto your hands and knees. So here, if you want some support for your knees, you can take a blanket, put that underneath. We will do some knee down lunges from here, so if you have something to support yourself, go for it. So just come onto your hands and knees and just do a couple quick cat-cows. So your spine is long. As you inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin into your chest. We're only going to do 3. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come to a neutral spine. Take your right foot back behind you. Left hand forward. Draw your belly in. Create this stretching action. You're reaching your left hand forward like somebody's pulling you. And then press your right heel back like somebody's pulling you there too. Draw the belly in. Keep your belly supported. Supporting your lower back. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, take it down. Left foot back, right hand forward. Good, draw the belly in and reach, stretch. Flex your back foot. Deep breath in. Exhale, take it down. Good, take your right foot back behind you, flex the foot. Take it over to the left side of the room so your toes come down just outside of your mat. So it doesn't have to be way out here. I want it pretty close to your mat. Stretch forward with your spine and the crown of your head, and then look over your left shoulder to your your right toes. So it's kind of like the banana stretch right on your back. Breathe yourself into it. And so this is stretching the connections of our torso muscles to the hip bones. Come forward, take your right knee in, left leg goes back, Flex the foot, cross it over to the right side. So toes again, just outside your mat. Lengthen your spine. Press into your standing leg. And then look over your right shoulder to your left toes. Come into Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. One more breath in. Long breath out. And then swing the torso forward. And then take your knees about hips distance apart. Curl the toes under. Lift your hips. Come into downward facing dog. And then here in down dog, bring your feet a little bit closer together. Take your right leg up behind you. Press your heel back so your right leg is straight. And then take your right hip up and over towards the left side of the room, but keep your right leg bent. You're not going all the way over into a flip dog. You're just feeling that stretch through your right side belly and hip. Keep that right leg active. Flex your foot. Breathe in. And then take the leg down. Push your chest back towards your thighs. Reset. Take your left leg up. And your left leg stays straight. Heel pressing back. And then left hip rolls up and over to the right side of the room. So your left heel is traveling over towards the right side of your mat. But your left leg stays straight. Flex your left foot. Spread your toes. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Take your left leg down. Good. Press your chest back. Look forward and walk your feet to your hands. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your right foot back and your right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. So our lunges are going to be a little bit quicker today. There's a lot I want to get in here. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, take your hands down. Take the left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, and then lower knees, chest, chin, all the way to the floor. Come up into a cobra, just a little baby cobra. Doesn't have to be the big mama. Come into child's pose. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of the room. Taking a nice stretch into the left armpit area. Still in the whole side body, but I feel this more now in the armpit, so upper torso. Can't forget our upper torso. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Deepen your breath. Really get that stretch into your right armpit. Good. Walk your hands forward and then come into downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward, left knee will come down. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then press your shin forward and lift. So again, that image, somebody's lifting your rib cage up, creating length through the side waist. Exhale, take your hands down, curl the back toes under, lift your left knee, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your left foot back. Left knee goes down. Inhale, reach your arms up to a lunge and then grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lean over to the right side of the room. So tall in your spine, so don't let yourself collapse forward. And then I want you to pull your right heel back, right? So it's not really gonna move on the mat, but there's an energetic pull. And then your left shin pulls forward. Right, so it's this kind of action. So you'll feel that solidness of your legs as you lean over. Makes it harder, right? Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take the hands down. Right foot comes back to meet the left, high plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, all the way to the floor. Inhale, come up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left foot forward, right knee comes down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your right wrist and lean. Now pull your left heel back and your right knee forward. So you're scissoring, right? It's this action. Locking everything into place as you lean over to the left. This can help to create more steadiness in your pose. Good, one more breath here. Long exhale out and take your hands down. Curl the back toes under. Lift your right knee. Big step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Let's do one more round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, right foot goes back. Right knee down. Keep your right hand down, left arm up into a twist. But don't be compressed in your twist. I want you to first lengthen your spine, lift your collarbones up, and then turn. Blocks are a good tool here to bring the floor up to you. It'll give you a little bit more room to lengthen and twist. Breathe in. Exhale, take your hands down. Left foot goes back. High plank. Lower knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Let it go. Right foot forward. Left knee will come down. Keep your left hand down. Remember to lengthen the spine, lift your collarbones, and then turn. So you're getting some good stretch here in your legs, rotation in your spine, but lengthen first. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath. Exhale, take the hands down, curl the back toes under, lift your left knee, step forward, come into a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. I know you can't see my head. I have to figure out the angle here. My room isn't that big. Inhale, reach your arms up, guys. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot goes back. Left knee down. Inhale, reach up. Then curl your back toes under and lift. So coming into a crescent lunge. So find your powerful crescent lunge. Pull that right heel back. Right, so it's this action again. Left hip, left foot are going to move forward. Right, so notice how that changes your hip angle when you pull back with the right heel and forward with the left foot. And now, with your hips nice and level, pulling the belly in, you can do whatever you want with your arms. See, I'm trying to decide. Am I going to go up? I'm going to go to hands on the hips. And then bend your left knee. We're just going to pulse up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, hands down, right foot back, lower knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale up, exhale back. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Take your left foot forward, right knee down. Get yourself into your lunge. And then curl the back toes under, power up the back leg. Lift your right knee. Figure out where you're taking your hands. I like to have mine on my hips here. Pull that right foot back, left foot forward, like you're trying to crinkle the mat underneath you in between your feet. So the hips square, draw the belly in, bend your right knee and lower, lift. for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just take a big step forward. Whew, and fold. Grab opposite elbows and let your head drop. So coming into a ragdoll pose to take a break. If you need water, like I do, take it. Okay. And I'm going to take the blanket off of my mat just for this next series. So come to the front of your mat and come into chair pose. Draw your belly in, sink your hips back, arms reach up, lengthen through the sideways. So it's like somebody's holding your hips down and somebody's pulling you up by your armpits. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Coming into a couple sun B variations. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, high plank. Shift forward on your toes. You can bring the knees down or leave them lifted for a low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward, warrior 1. Reach your arms up. Good, press into the outer edge of your back feet. Lift your torso, and then open up, warrior 2. Sink into your front knee a little bit deeper. Feel that stretch happening in the inner thigh, that activity. Now flip your palms, recline, but straighten your front leg. So push into your front toe ball mounds and then reach your fingertips back. Feel that nice stretch. And then come forward with your hand, right leg stays straight. Pull your outer right hip back as you reach forward, coming into triangle pose. So you can either take the back of your hand to your shin and reach up, or if you have a block, right, use a block. Or if your hand can go all the way down to the floor, great, but try to keep your torso out over your front leg. So like none of this. Straight leg, knee has a little bend in it. Torso is out over the leg. We are in line with ourselves. And breathe. Good, one more breath in here. Exhale, look down. Take your hands down, high plank. So right foot goes back. Shift forward on the toes, low plank. And come down to your belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good. Pedal your feet here. Bend one knee at a time. Come to stillness. And then take your left foot forward, warrior 1. So your back toes are at an angle at 45 degrees. Sink into your front knee and lengthen up through the torso. So if you need help, just grab your own ribs, lift them up, and then contract your muscles in so you keep that height. And then sink into your front knee. Eventually you just want to be able to do that by yourself. It's like a corset pulling up. Good. Breathe in. Open up. Warrior 2. So now your back foot's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Sink a little deeper into your front knee. Lift the torso. Create that corset. Flip your palms, recline. Reach back, straighten the front leg. So push into your left big toe ball mound. Take that stretch all the way through your fingertips with the left hand. Now come forward with your left hand. Keep the left leg straight. Reach forward, come into triangle pose. So back of the hand can go into your left shin. Right arm will reach up. Right, and turn from here, or you use a block to support yourself. Just make sure the torso is staying out over the front leg, and give just a little bend in your front knee. You don't want to lock that out. That puts a little too much strain on your knee joint. So ultimately, we're trying to support our joints through the whole practice by the engagement of our muscles, right, and our awareness through our movement. All right, take a look down. Take your hands down. Left foot's gonna go back to meet the right. High plank. Shift forward on your toes. Low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, step the right foot forward, and then turn yourself to face the left side of your mat. So feet are wide here, wide-legged forward fold. Let your head just drop down. So just feel that stretch in your lower back. Your legs are super strong here, so press into the outer edges of your feet, right? Don't let them come up. Press into the outer edge. Fire up your leg muscles, and now try to pull the mat together with your feet, right? And the inner thighs pulling in. Lots of activity here. Fold a little bit deeper. Now inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring all of your weight and bend your right knee. So coming over to the right side. And you can lift your left toes or keep them down on the floor. I'm not sure if you can see. All right, here I like to turn my toes up. I'm gonna take a block because I want a little support. Now you can keep your hands down on the floor, but extend your spine. Lift your collarbones. Try to create that corset image. Or if you have a block or something to hang on to, I like to do that so I can sit my torso up. Breathe, Skandasana. It's just fun to say, right? So many fun things to say in yoga. Press down into your standing foot. And then switch to the other side. So go slow here, right? You had a deep opening in your right hip. Reset your feet so that they're even with each other. Come into a forward fold. Press into the outer edges of your feet and then try to wrinkle the mat up in between your feet by pulling your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, bend your left knee, taking the weight over to the left side. Lift your right toes if that feels right for you, or keep the toes down on the floor. So we're getting a nice stretch of our inner thigh here. You can keep your hands down to the floor to support yourself, or if you have something else, even if you have like a little shelf like this that my little plant is on. Ooh, it needs to be trimmed. Sit up tall. Good, press into your left foot. Don't let your hips kind of sink down towards the floor. You want to stay supported. Lift your torso long. So we're practicing balancing and lifting for 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Bring yourself back to center, and then you'll just go a little bit side to side. Feet are planted. You're just shifting weight from one side to the other. Doesn't have to be super deep. Go at your own pace. Maybe stay in an area that feels like it needs a little bit more stretch. We'll stay in this for about 10 more seconds. I do have a clock over here that counts the seconds for me too. Come back to center into a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Turn your toes out, drop your hips. Goddess pose. So here, we don't want our belly popping forward and our tush sticking out. Trying to sit up nice and tall, so you might not bend your knees as much. Knees go in the direction of your toes, and try to pull the mat, right? Wrinkle the mat between your feet again. So you're activating the inner thighs. Goalpost the arms. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs. Hands to your hips and then heel toe your feet. Whew, back together. All right, standing balancing. We got a lot to do. All right, so bend your right knee. Just grab it with your right hand. You're gonna hold here. Drive your right knee down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to pull the upper arm bones back as much as you can. And lengthen through your spine. So think about lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then create that action by pressing into your standing foot. Create that corset. Excuse me, and then lift the crown of your head. Now, if you can, switch hands. Right, so I'm holding my right foot with my left hand. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then lean. Stay tall in your spine. You're still lifting the crown of your head up. Good. Come back. And slowly release. So no boomeranging out of that. Shake it out. Good. Other side. So bend your left knee, grab it with your left foot. And if you need to come to a wall to give yourself some support, do that. If you need to use a strap or a towel to grab onto your left foot, do that as well. So sit up tall in your spine, draw your belly in, press your left knee down towards the floor. So you should feel a stretch through your quadricep. Bringing that corset image, right, help lift your torso up. With that corset, the corset of your own muscles, creating support. Now, squeeze your shoulder blades together and then switch hands. Take your left foot with your right hand, sit up tall, take your left arm up, squeeze your shoulder blades in and lean to the right. Feel how that goes from your knee all the way through the side waist to the tricep. Feel where that travels. One more breath. And then come back and release it. Good. Shake that out. So let's work for your standing leg. Big stretch for your knee that you're holding on to. And then come back to the front of your mat. So it was just a brief interlude. I had a couple more planned, but it on paper and then me practicing by myself like I did yesterday doesn't always translate to a full class, so I gotta take some things out, but that was the most important one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your hands down, feet back just into downward facing dog. And then look forward, take your right foot forward, your left knee comes down, lunge. And now take your right hand to your right knee, keep lifting your left arm up and then go back into a half camel. So again, pull your right foot back, left knee draws forward, trying to wrinkle the mat in between your foot and your knee. And then come forward into lizard pose. Right? Great pose for our hips. Curl the back toes under, lift your left knee, shift your hips back, and then take the knee back down. So you're just creating space here. A deeper stretch. Don't forget about your side waist. Lengthen up. So push into the floor and lift your collarbones. Now you can stay here with straight arms, or you can start to bend them. Just stay nice and long in the torso. You want to feel that stretch in your left hip flexors and a deepening in your right hip. And you don't have to push it. I want you to let your hips be heavy here. let the hip drop down towards the floor. You're supported, you're pulling still this right foot back. Now your top of your left foot's on the floor, so you can pull that forward, right? But it doesn't really move. Let your hips be heavy, heavy, heavy. Good. You can walk your right foot out to the side, let the knee drop. You can widen your hands here. Again, you're pulling the right foot back, left leg forward, create tall spine. Deepen your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant your right foot, walk it back in, and then shift your hips back. So if you have a block, here's a good time to use it. You take the block right underneath your right hip. You could take that blanket or a towel, put it here, and then fold forward. If this doesn't work for your left knee, you'll come down to your tush, take the left foot into the right leg, and fold forward this way. Many options. I'm going to take the block. If you don't need the block, don't use it. So flex your right foot and fold forward. So we're trying to get as much of our leg here to stretch as possible. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, rise all the way up. Walk your hands forward. And then here's where we get into our peak pose, which is splits. I know you weren't expecting that, or maybe you were, I don't know. So I want you to plant into your front foot. Just keep the knee stacked over your ankle, and here's where blocks could be really helpful. If you don't have blocks, you're just gonna support yourself here, and then you'll start to just scooch your right foot forward. It's like an inchworm. As far as you feel comfortable, like don't go any further than you're comfortable. Maybe take your left foot back a little bit. And here's where, if you have blocks, I want you to sit up nice and tall. Or if you're able to sit up tall without the use of blocks, do that. Otherwise, if you're supporting yourself with your hands, I want you to just lengthen the spine and lift your collarbones, right? That's it. And then let your pelvis be heavy. If you have blocks, what I like to do is take one underneath my forward sits bone, right? My leg that's in front of me, take it underneath the sits bone, and then let my front leg straighten. Pull your right toes back. And if you want to, hands on your hips, but don't go beyond your comfort zone here. Right, so this is a pretty deep pose, depending upon how far you're into it. So I want you to be supported the whole time. So if you're unstable when you take your arms up or you try, just don't. Flex your feet, sit up nice and tall. So I love the block, I'm just sitting here, right? Then I can really work on my legs, drawing the belly in, getting a deep stretch here through my left hip flexors. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, to come out of this, support yourself and then pull your left foot back, either by the heel or if it's on the foot here, just draw it back and then come into a Virasana. Hands on your blocks if you have them to support yourself. And I want you to just sit, and if Virasana is not comfortable, just come to a cross-legged position. Right, let all that kind of settle, right? That deep stretch, that deep work into the hips, and that lengthening of the spine, like let that just settle in, because we have to go to the other side. So really simply, take your left foot forward, right knee is down. So take both arms up to start. We're starting in the lunge, like a low lunge. Pull your left foot back, right knee pulls forward, so you're nice and solid here. Take your left hand on top of your left thigh, reach your right arm up and go back. Only as far as you're comfortable. Keep the spine long. And breathe. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, coming forward. Take your hands on the inside of your left leg for lizard pose. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee, scoot your hips back, and take the knee back down. So this is just creating space between your front heel and your back knee. And you could use the blanket underneath your knee if you needed to or wanted to. Lengthen the spine. Create that corset, right, of your muscles wrapping around your rib cage and your belly to lift. Good, let your hips be heavy. Right, and then pull your left heel back, right knee forward. Keep doing that, wrinkle the mat, but then let the hips be heavy. Long spine. Deepen your breath. One more breath here. And then you can walk your left foot out to the side if this is available to you. Widen your hands. And then let your left knee drop out. You're still pulling that foot back. So this is squaring your hips. Right, so when you're doing a split, it's important to square the hips. Right, keep them even with each other. And then they can move in a way that makes more sense for the body. Might not make a lot of sense for your body. Going, what are you doing to me? But if you square the hips, it'll make a little bit more sense. Eventually. It's a practice, you guys. It's not perfect. Okay, plant your left foot. Scooch it in a little bit. And then shift your hips back, keeping your left leg straight. Sit back. So you're in Virasana in your right leg, hero's pose. Your left leg is forward. Just come forward. And remember, you can also come into Janu Shirshasana, where you sit on your tush off of the block or anything, and then take your right foot to the inner left thigh, your knee pointing out. Either way, we're trying to get a nice stretch here of the left leg. Before we move on to our splits on this side. Keep the spine long. Lift your collarbones. Create that corset and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Come forward. Right, starting in your low lunge. Support yourself either with your hands on the floor or hands on the blocks. And just scooch your left foot forward as far as you think it's okay. Maybe slide the left foot back. Right, you've got to lift and adjust yourself. Stay nice and tall on your spine. So you could just stay here. Or I'm going to take my block and put it underneath my left, not really sits bone. My sits bone is not on there. It's kind of just off the sits bone. Good. Now my front leg, I'm going to keep nice and straight and pull the toes back. I have to keep a little bend in this knee, but I'm going to scooch my right leg back. So press down into the top of your back foot. You're pressing down into your heel here, and you're still scissoring, right? Sit up nice and tall. And if you want to, if you're stable, take your arms up so that you continue that lengthening of your side waist. If you want to get really fancy, you can lean, but let's not go there today. And breathe, lengthen up. Stay here for 5, 4, legs are strong, lengthening up 2 and 1. Good. Take your hands down here, and then you're supporting yourself, either hands on the floor or the blocks. Pull your left heel back to the back of your mat. And then sit in Virasana. Or if Virasana is not comfortable for your knees, go ahead to an easy seated pose. Good work. I had so much more planned than I could get into an hour class. It's okay. We did the most important stuff. Okay, I want you to come onto your seat. And then take your left foot into the inner right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Reach up. Exhale. Fold over your right leg into Janu Shirshasana. Time to wind it down. Inhale. Lift up. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Do a little twist here. Bringing a little bit more stretch into our left side waist. Try to lift your spine tall, lift your collarbones. Good. Come to center, fold over your leg. Take your right leg out to the side a little bit more. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, lift your left hand up, and then lean over. So your right hand is sliding down towards your ankle or your toes. If you can grab them, great. If not, don't worry about it. Just lean over, sitting up nice and tall before you lean. One last side stretch. And inhale, come up. Take both legs forward. Paschimottanasana. Flex your feet. One more breath here. Lengthen the spine and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Take your right foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold forward over your left leg. Keep lengthening your spine. So when you inhale, lift your collarbones, create the corset. Exhale, draw your belly in a little bit more to help you fold deeper. Inhale, lift up. Take your right hand to the outside of your left foot. Left hand comes behind you. And you're just twisting. Lengthen up through the spine. So lift your collarbones. Create the corset. Maybe twist a little bit more. Right? You're just always trying to create a lift. Come back to center. Over the leg, just to reset yourself. Sit up nice and tall. Left leg comes out to the side. Sit up. Left hand on the thigh or your shin. Reach your right arm up and over. Slide your left hand down towards your toes. You don't have to grab them. Spine is tall. Remind yourself to sit up before you fold. It'll give you more access. One more breath. Feel that nice stretch of your right side body. And then come up. Take both feet forward. Plant your feet, knees are up. Take your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let's come into reverse tabletop, which is a good counter for all the things that we were doing today. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Press your feet down. Try to wrinkle up the mat in between your feet. So you're pulling your feet towards one another. Feel how that activates your legs in a different way. And then come down onto your tush. Let's come into fish pose. So your hands are on the floor, fingertips pointing towards your heels. Thumbs are together underneath you, so you're sitting on your hands. Now walk your hips over your wrists. Lift up tall in your chest. So squeeze your shoulder blades together and then let the top of your head come down towards the floor. Now don't worry if your head doesn't touch the floor. It doesn't have to. If it's not comfortable for your neck, you just stay high with the chest, right? You're going to press into your forearms, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and keep your chin tucked in towards your chest. If you can, let it go back. Let's take 3 breaths here. Big inhale. Long exhale. Big inhale, press into your forearms, lift your chest. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. One more time. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in. And then to get out of this, tuck your chin towards your chest. Your shoulders should just come down to the floor. Release your hands and just lay here on your mat. And let yourself settle out of that. Take a full body stretch as you inhale. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Take your feet down. Just a quick windshield wiper back and forth with your knees. So your feet are on the floor, knees up. Roll from side to side. Okay, bring your knees up to center. Take your feet forward, coming into our Shavasana. And please take your Shavasana. Just lay here in stillness with your eyes closed if you're comfortable with that. If not, then just gaze towards the ceiling with soft eyes and a soft jaw. Allow yourself to notice the effect of your practice on your body. And allow your practice to settle into every cell of your body. Invite a heaviness. Letting yourself sink down into your mat, into the floor. So comfortable. Let your feet be heavy. Feel the weight of your skull. And now begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a full body stretch. And then bring your feet to the floor, knees up, and roll to your side. Take a moment before you come up. Bring yourself to a seated pose. Eyes closed, right hand over your heart, your left hand over your right, and bow your head. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. We'll seal our class with a chant of 1 Om. Breathe in. Namaste. And Shabbat Shalom.